Hey, what's up, Scott? Welcome around the Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday. Friday, July 12th, 2024. And you know what that means, right? Yeah, it's my wife's birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Cynthia. Come on now. Mrs. B, she needs a little love that way, but it's also afternoon drive time home with Scott. And that's right, you're going to have a great time this afternoon, but watch out. Traffic is bumper to bumper, and you don't want to be late for wherever you're headed to, because that's how we do things around here. How is everyone out there in the wonderful world of... Where's my video? Man, I can't even tell if my video's working. That's horrible. How is everyone out there? Are y'all happy? Are you doing good? Are you feeling fine? It's a lovely day. It's been a minute since we last talked. I mean, last weekend Friday was it's a holiday for us Americans where we celebrate fireworks. So I had to take that day off. It just made perfect sense. Now, why am I not streaming here? Am I not streaming here? I feel like I'm streaming here, but I'm not streaming here. I just like to, I like to make sure that my peeps on Rumble, both of them, are getting the. Where is it? I don't even see it. Who is dinging me? Why? That was an unplanned ding, by the way, on the beginning there. I don't even know if I'm live. I can't even find it anymore. Where am I at? Hey, there I am. Ooh, first, a commercial. Wow, I'm going to watch that so I get that credit. Frank. Hello, Frank. How are you? Happy Friday to you. Bernard. Hello. Jacob. Let me just click on these. Dirk. Hello. Bernard. Hey. On my way back with pizza in hand for the stream. I mean, you can't go wrong with pizza. It's a good one. I see Kyle out there all the way from Europe. How you doing, Kyle? Frank is like, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Frank. I got to skip this ad, though. Let's see. Oh, my God. I guess. Wow. Wow, all of that stuff is in my teeth and gums? Wow. Rumble has the weirdest ads. Okay, there we go. Cog. I have a person on on Rumble. Hi. Okay, let's see what we got going on here today. Different lens. No, same lens, different modifier from out of focus. See how well that works? Modulate. This one that's on today is the K35 adapter. It's a little bit just a little bit muted. Just not terribly pushy. I really like the Super Baltar. I really like that one. And the next one we'll do is the anamorphic look. So we got that going for us as well. All right, let's see. We got a lot to talk about. Did y'all see the Nikon Z8? The review on that? I was very pleased with the camera. It does a lot of things really, really well and a few things really badly. But for the most part, it is a very, very good and competent camera, and makes me smile. Makes me happy that there for $3,500 you can get essentially a mini red or a red Komodo minus the global shutter, but plus 8K and 60 frames per second. I feel it is the best match in dynamic range-ish towards Komodo. Komodo X is a little higher, and then V-Raptor is just a cut above. Dat Atu? L2? This is L3, is it not? Pretty sure it's L3. L2 is the anamorphic. I mean, they're all really cool. I'm less of a K35 guy, but this one here, which is the L1, this is by far my favorite. It is incredibly cool. And I can't wait to show you some stuff that we've shot with it because it's fun. Let's see what other wonderful things are happening in the wonderful world. We have quite a few reviews coming up. We got the updated CF Express Type B cards from Why am I blanking? If I just click my hand like this a couple times, it'll come to me in just a second. Oh, right here. The, totally blanking right there. Yeah, Next Garage. These are the high-speed versions. I forget what they call them, the firmware, or not firmware, but hardware chipset, like 4.0 or 3.0. It makes them way faster, like twice as fast. And they perform very, 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 very well. Let's see. Did we live stream since we got back from, yeah, we did. We live streamed for that. So you got to see the, yeah, sound like an 18-year-old kid or 16. Sorry, 7 different tangents here. We've got, you got to see the footage from Colorado, and those seeds, those were really cool. Upcoming reviews also, we have these modulates. We have some more lenses coming. Well, the reviews coming for them. We have some lenses from Nikon. We have several videos on how to do things on Nikon Best. What are my reviews? I'm thinking. I guess that my list. A light, 2 cameras, some filters, a plug-in, the Move Max from Move Max. It's really good and small for the Osmo Pocket 3. Red Control Pro. Yep, those. And then also, I have become like really into these bags, and I find it hard to do a review on just a bag. These are the Tenba cable bags. I'm really digging these. I have like 4 of these now. Also the cord bags, the CRD bags. Those things, Red was giving them away at Cinegear, and I had never held one. I've always used these somewhere I have them. These really cheap zipper bags that I've been buying on Amazon. Oh, just calm down, dog. I have the stepdog, not stepdog, but the grand dog, I guess, would be in here, and he's wrecks his life hell. I've been buying these things on Amazon, and I like them, but you can't see in them, and they're just canvas-ish kind of thing. But these CRD bags, when I got that one from Red, I was like, oh, this is really cool, nice swag. It's another zipper bag. No, it's unlike any zipper bag. It is really stout. I ordered several of them from B&H immediately. I was like, oh, these are really good. Go bags. I think that's the one. What's up, Brandon? I think go bags are the ones that are like a knockoff of the CRD bags. Yes. But they only make one size. And that was the weird thing. So the go bags that are on there, they look like they're an identical clone. And believe me, I'm cheap. But it's the small size. So it's the same as the CRD smalls, the cord bags small. And the medium is the size to get. That one I was like really impressed because I got all of my SSDs and everything in there, and it was super easy. The L2 is the K35. Really? Huh. Well, I'll have to play with this one a little. I just put this one on. That ain't elliptical to me. Interesting. Just Googled it. Now the world can continue to exist. Now I mean, you're like me, Jacob. Somebody will tell me something, and they're like, it's absolutely true. And I'm like, I believe you. I'm going to verify it for myself because I won't sleep at night if I don't. Well, they've been around for a long time. I only find one on there because they're literally like half the price or almost half the price. I have like 8 of them. They're about a foot long and 8 inches. Okay. If you got a link for that, send me a link to that because I see one on Amazon. And it just comes in a single or a 2-pack and gray or black. And they're the small ones. And then I clicked on the brand and the brand just takes you to generic bags. Film sticks bags, but I might be a bit prejudiced. Let's see the film sticks bags. Well, those are, yes, thank you. I can't thank you. It's like, you must agree that you're in the United States. I know where I'm at. That's interesting. So they're similar. They're deeper. I like the clear, and I like the mesh, and I like that you don't have the mesh in the clear because that's one of the annoying things about the other cheap bags that I've been buying. Stop. Every time I get up, you don't need to get up. Man, dogs are weird, aren't they? They have like their own little brain, and it's really hard because like these two, they listen on their own. But when you put 2 of them in a room and you give one a command, the other one does the command. That's really hard. These are the other ones. These go-to bag. I were buying these. As you can see right now, you're enjoying Oakley's chest. It's now go lay down. You're making my dog out of focus. These are cool, but they're not super strong. They're really cheap. I'll give them that. And they're actually really hard to see through. So you can't really tell what you got inside. I don't particularly care for that. We'll do, I mean, bigger ones would also be great, but I don't want to throw down 50. Oh, I agree with you, Brandon. I completely agree. Believe me, when I said I'm cheap, I don't think you understand exactly how cheap I am. Like this, I think it's just weeds from the yard. I don't think it's a real quality. No, it's real. I'm not cheap when it comes to these. Dirk says 3 sizes. I'm very affordable. Well, Dirk, why are you a bit biased or prejudiced, as you say? Do you have something to do with them? And if so, talk to us. Let's see what you got. Clapperboards, cleaning cloth, expendable, film sticks bags. Or your film sticks aren't, let's see. These are very durable. Brandon says, "Sup, Scott? Been a minute. Hope things are well in your neck of the woods. Beard looking good. It's really long. Wife is not liking it. She does not like a long beard." Ah, the European distributor, European distributor for film sticks. Very cool. The median cordage is really not that much bigger. It is though. The small bag on the Amazon one is like 6.5 by 9.5, and the other one is like 8.5 by 11, and it matters. Jeremy, hello. How are you, sir? It is that didn't happen. It is that time. Oh, I probably should turn on the vent. Yeah, everybody says, "Hey, you gonna haze it up in there?" Oh yeah. That's a good point. Let me turn that on, but I want to show these others off because these are really cool. Turn that on. And come over. Would you lay down? Just lay down. Whatever you choose, just choose to lay down. Do that and that. Okay, go lay down. There you go. Rex is like, "Oh my God, please stop." Well, thank you, YouTube. I didn't know that. YouTube said, "I'm live on YouTube right now." Can I plug a guy I know in New Jersey who makes his own bag? Sure. What are they? Tell me about them. Tell me what they are. Do y'all know about the Smoke Ninja, the Smoke Genie? These things are really slick, and I'm a little late to the game on these things, but man, I am not sad about it. These are very cool. That comes off. This goes on. I'm just gonna, do this stuff while I talk to you guys. We just take a little bit of this cloud formula. Who doesn't love a little cloud formula? The medium is, I would go grab it, but I have my wall closed back there. I've been using the other bottle. As soon as FedEx gets here, I'll have some more. But right now, they're back in the edit bay. Oopsie, get in there. What's going on here? Am I doing it wrong? No. Oh, I am doing it wrong. Duh. Man, I need my glasses on. It's dark in here. I think I'm putting it in the wrong hole. That's what she said. What am I doing here? There to there. I need to get some tissue, though. Stay. Good grief, dog. I'm all about organization and bags. What is going on? Oh, yeah, okay. Duh. Got it. I knew I was missing something. I was like, I don't remember it being so easy, because it's not that easy. You have to flip up the little lever here. Once you flip that up, then you fill it up. And then it trickles down the side because I'm a mess. Just one second. This is how we do things. As King says, my live streams are on a completely different level. Yes, most would call them unprofessional. I call them my live streams. All right, so that cleans up. Now I can take the old man glasses off. There we go. Now this goes on here, and then this goes on here. Which one am I missing? Did I not do something? Oh, yeah. Duh. I hadn't played with this one yet. That's why I pulled it out. And I may not get to play with this one. I gotta... Let's see here. This is why they make different ones. For people like me. Oh. I'm sitting here like, oh, push the button, push the button. Yeah. Those are the buttons you need to push. Maybe. There we go. Let's press it once. Okay, so, anywho, put all that back. Did it? I bet you that battery is dead. This one's more fun anyway. Let's see what I'm missing here. Take this off. Take that out. Take this out. Put that on. Huh. That's a little weird. Is it possible I don't know what I'm doing? I would say it's possible because that's 3 batteries, and I know for a fact these 2 are charged. Let's take that one off. We'll go to the next one. Let's see what we got here. The medium is 11 by 6. It's bigger than that though. This job seems to be hard on the body. Do you have any thoughts on how to mitigate physical strain? I've done some upper and back issues. Yeah, it is hard on the body. It's really, really hard. What I would tell you is stretch beforehand. Also, this job is all about upper body. So get your back going. And believe me, I have the same problems, if not worse, because I have fused vertebrae. So my back don't work the way it want to work. So you have to really put some effort into it to keep from pulling muscles, because it is not cool. I must be doing something wrong. And see, you saw the XLs. I saw the XLs too, and I was like, "Ooh, bigger versions!" And I started looking at it, and all the bags that I have are smaller than those mediums from CRD bag, and so I thought, I'm actually doing well with the medium size one, so I think I'm going to just stick with it because I don't want to. I don't want to get so big because then they become like mini backpacks, and I definitely don't want to be mini backpacks. That goes on there, that goes there, and then all the fun happens after that. Let's see what we got here. Take that out, take that out, take that out. I feel like I need one of these. I feel like there's something else I need. Okay, so did I fill this up? I did not fill that up. I really should fill this up. So yeah, the worst thing to me is the using any kind of gimbal, because you're holding weight out in front of you, and our bodies are not meant to do that. We have a very finite amount of weight that we can hold out before it causes negative impact. And I discovered that. As a younger pup, I played a lot with the Steadicam and attempted to be a Steadicam op. I just sweat too much. And then later on, I got the Movi, and then I went with the dual arm, I forget which one that is. And originally I had the Ronin, the original Ronin. It was very, very heavy. And I got to tell you, when you're flying 40 pounds, not happy. I'm not happy. My back was just not making it. I was thinking about this recently, and honestly, I've been considering my cam lens kits down to smaller and lighter packages at the loss of convenience. I mean, this is what I'm talking about here. It's kind of amazing. Cognition says, "Hi everybody, today's my birthday and I just wanted to check in. Hope you have a great show, Scott." It's also my wife's birthday, so y'all just have a wonderful birthday together. It is a wonderful thing when birthdays happen. I like birthdays. Let's see here. Now I'll turn this on. So one of those batteries is definitely bad. Ooh, yeah. I like this thing. I like that you could just create pools. Well, here, we'll do it this way. What button did I push? I mean, that is too cool. And you just kind of go in and you can drop things into it. Love these things. Well, this is the one that I've been using. I hadn't played with the smaller version yet. This one is just too cool. Very cool. Am I smoking hot? Smells nice though. Let's see here. I've also started shooting 100% monopod. Monopod's not bad, especially there's some good monopods out there rather than all shoulder. Shoulder is bad. Shoulder is really bad because you're going to get tennis elbow really, really bad. If you look at every news cameraman out there, their shoulders are shot, and they all have to get surgery, which takes like 6 months out of their life because it's no fun. And I actually started developing that, and I wasn't even doing it that much. But like I said, our bodies were not designed to do a lot of things over and over again. Like keeping this lit while playing with other things. Now let's get back to the fun here. So yeah, happy birthday, Cognition. King says, Alchemy on this live, just brought it up if you know. Yeah, that makes a big difference. The Easy Rig helps with the Easy Rig. Yeah, I use the Easy Rig now. It is the one thing that I use. The other one was the, what was the other rig? God, what was it? Man, that sucks that I can't remember it. But I really liked it. It was unnecessary for me. I no longer needed that. It goes like that. I'll just keep that for now. Too many toys. Fun toys. Let's see if we can do a... Let's see, I could contain it, couldn't I? I could contain it right there. Got a nice little pool. Look how much cooler that mouse is. Ooh. Alright. So I had been using this a lot. If you saw, like on the thumbnails on the Nisi and the Nano X, I used those on there. And then somebody said, Scott, stop putting the product name and all that stuff in your titles and your thumbnails because people won't click on it. So now I tried it differently on the Z8. Still put the name in the title. I can't make anyone happy. Let's see here. Yeah, personally, not a huge fan of easy rigs. They help but destroy your lower backs. It should not destroy your lower back. If you're doing the easy rig properly, they should be resting on your shoulders. And you should never be pushing it out. If you're pushing it out, then yes, it's going to destroy your lower back because you're bending over. It should be really close and tight to you. Have you tried unplugging and no, I haven't, Dirk. That compact fog machine is going to turn your set. Yep. Do you think Red will include the lens corrections? I don't know. I feel like they're going to cater to whoever is most purchasing the cameras. And I have a feeling, but I don't know, that they're focusing on cinema hard. I don't know. They could, but that's a lot of updates to have to do. And I think it would be a pain in the butt. I also think that lens manufacturers should stop doing that. Stop relying on that. Ooh, Dirk, thank you for becoming a member again. Appreciate you. I think I need to contact support, though, because I kept losing electronic functionality and had to unseat, reseat the lens. That's happened to me a few times, too, Jeremy. It happens to me on the 100 to 500 Canon, and it happens to me on the Sigma 50 to 100. I'm not sure what that is, and I don't know that sending it in is the right solution because I don't know if it's a problem that they're working on or not. Gavin, I love you, but it's not. I just did a conversion. Man, I will show you. I will show you. You're probably right. I remember it being bigger than what I was measuring. I really just want the go bags in medium because for $19.99 a piece, that's a hell of a price because I just paid $34 a piece for them, and I'm still waiting on FedEx to get here. Did you try a saddlebag with those tight specs? The Focus Rats and City Saddles are pretty good. So yes, City Saddles are, yep. Bill Howard. Hello, Bill. Mr. Nikon. Posterior chain. Strengthen your posterior chain as it's a lot of self-myofascial Dr. Brandon here needs in the territory of the job. It's always about stretching. Always about stretching to me. Hello, my friend, and happy Friday to you. Hello, Eric. Hope you are well this afternoon. Putting much behind you. Anointing yoga. Ready Rig. Thank you, Frank. Yes, the Ready Rig. Really cool design, really good for movies, not for Scott. Not for Scott in any way, form, or fashion, because you're just hanging it all out here. It gives you a tremendous flexibility, but man, I tell you what, with the DJI Ronin, the 4 RS4s, I'm just going to build a light camera. Let's just do it that way. I felt so bad on IC, the feature that we did last year. Our gimbal op had a 50-pound load. That is so unfair. It's so unfair. Alexa 35 with Cook Anamorphics. Oh, I felt so bad for him. Find some exercises to do that. Yep. Brandon is in the health space for sure, but he can't do conversions. Good evening, Scott and crew. Hello, I edit. Just passing through and drop off like good vibes and have a great weekend. You too, I edit. Tyler, Dirk, I've been looking at getting one for that. Yeah. Oh, nice. I'm going to check this out and consider. Tyler, depends on your rig of size, of course, but I use medium formats of the Focus Rat with my Komodo X. I'm a big fan of medium format. I think we need more medium format out there. Do you think R3D RAW could sneak into Nikon Z's as a firmware update? My gut tells me no. My opinion is I think they should put R3D in the Nikons. My gut tells me, like the Z8, Z9, Z6 Mark III, that I don't think it's going to show up in here. I think they're just going to use in RAW. And why I think they should is because in RAW is newly supported and not on many platforms, whereas R3D is supported on practically every editor now. I may sit tight for a bit because I hate to sit in the camera for something that can't be. Yeah, those types of issues are things that I don't believe they really honestly pay that much attention to, because they don't promise it is the thing. So they say these are the lenses that they know work, but they don't promise that others do. And I think that's where they kind of get. I was a corrective exercise specialist for 20 years. What a coincidence, Brandon. I was a non-exercise person for 20 years. I avoided exercise like crazy. Crazy? Is the RS4 significantly better than the RS3? The RS4 Pro is better than the RS3 only in that it is slightly larger dimensions. So putting a V-Raptor on there with a small lens is going to be way easier to balance, because you'll have a lot more room in there. Like on the RS3, you can bang it up against the bars. So it is nice that they just enlarged it slightly. Other than that, it has the exact same payload, so it's not any bigger. Let's see here. Where's my FedEx? Oh, my FedEx. Yo, Radnyo, no, 101. That was interesting. Let's see here. I was wanting to look up the CRD bags. CRD bags. Yeah. I hate that you're right, Brandon. I hate that. It's not fair. 6 inches. I want those go bags. I do want the go bags. I just want the medium. Because it's like, you're missing like an inch and a half. And, you know, for some people, they would complain. What's up, Dave Donaldson? You're actually working today? Well, good for you, buddy. Is that your second day this year? I'm sorry, that's a bad joke. Glad to see you're working. Glad to see you're feeling better, too. I agree with Scott on the RS4, but that additional capacity, size capacity, makes putting my Raptors on a breeze. Yeah, that is the... I think that's literally why they did it. Everybody was like, it's great. It does everything I want. Could you make it slightly bigger? And they did. But I think, does the RS3 support the autofocus LiDAR? I don't recall. I have the little RS3 Mini that I use. JP says, now that you've had a chance to work the Nikons, do you think their video image quality is better than Sony's FX line? Yes and no. So here's the thing. Nikon's, the Z8, it has 8K. It can shoot 8K RAW, 12-bit, at 60 frames a second. It can do this with about 14 stops of dynamic range. Now, I am a bit of a dynamic range slut, if you will. I'm spoiled rotten because of Reds. Reds just happened to be the right thing for me at the time, and then here comes 16 plus stops of dynamic range, and you notice, you kind of find those things. And I literally, when I got the Red, I was able to expose skies and get tremendous skies, and I love that. Sony has, on many of their cameras, like say their FX3, they have 15 stops of dynamic range, and it shows. Their A1 has 15 stops of dynamic range, and it shows. Their A7R5 has like 15 and a half stops of dynamic range, and it shows. But it's give and take. So for $3,500, I could shoot 8K 60 in RAW, internal in camera with 14 stops of dynamic range, or I could buy an FX3 that shoots 4K 60, not RAW, 10-bit, internal, and it has 15 stops of dynamic range. You gotta make those choices. Would I make the Z8 my... See, I have Reds, and I have the dynamic range, I have the RAW, I have the resolution, I have everything that I want in A cams. For me, it's about B and C cams. And the Z8 is a wonderful B and C cam for a Red, because you're going to use your best for your best. So I want that dynamic range. I want that dynamic range. I am going to I'm going to choose the Red. When I want compact, small, and easy, I might actually grab the Z8. The other thing that you could do with the Z8 is time lapse. So 8K time lapse is something I can do. With the down here we got the R8. You can do 6K time lapse. And I am not a fan of the R7 or the R8 when it comes to dynamic range, which it does not have 15 stops or 14 stops. It does not have highlight protection, or when I say highlight protection, I don't mean physically a button that says highlight protection. I mean, when I shoot stuff in shadows, I can resurrect my clouds and my sky, which is what I like. I can't do that on the Canon. I've never been happy with Canon that way. So Do I think the image quality is better? The answer is it depends. What do you need it for? If you need dynamic range, the Z8 is not better. The Z9 is not better. The Z6 is definitely not better. If you need it for compact resolution with pretty good dynamic range, the Z8 is way better than the Sony's. You would literally need to compare the Burano to the Z8 to get 8K, and this will shoot 8K 60. The Burano will shoot 8K 30. On top of that, the Burano will have better dynamic range, but you can buy like 6 Z8s for the price of a Burano. It's tough. It's tough. Right tool for the job is really what it comes down to, which is why I say, to me, the Z8 is, I'm placing my hand on it, it's right there. It's a great B cam for a Komodo user, or Komodo X user even. I've got some more stuff here. I'll be shooting a couple of videos using it instead of, this is Komodo here, because I want to see how it does in this scenario. And, let you guys see. What's a good wireless video system? Hollyland, Vaxis, Teradek. I need something for focus pulling. Vaxis, not uncompressed, is probably your best bet for pulling focus, or a Teradek if you're going 2K. You're not going to do 4K on that. Hollyland, Vaxis, and Teradek all have 4K solutions, and they're fine. But pulling focus is tough because you're going to be 2 or 3 frames delayed. On an action, that's going to be a problem. On a love scene, not love scene, but a drama, probably not so much. We used Vaxis. We've used Vaxis a lot. We used it on the feature. We also used Axoon but it was for a different purpose, not for focus pulling. Everybody right now is poo-pooing on Teradek for good reason, because they're not quite leading anymore, and that's a problem. If you're on a budget, look at the Hollyland. How convenient. Right here. These right here. They are quite good. There's a little bit of delay, ever so slight, about 2-3 frames, but I use these a lot. These are my go-tos. I'm not doing high-end action focus pulling, so they are not a problem for that. Did I leave that on? Okay, I didn't. So consider those. Dave says, ha ha ha, leg is swollen, but I feel 100% and I finally moved into a new house. Yep. Did you get you some roommates yet? Got to get those roommates. I posted the link above, but have no clue. Did you see the bags I referenced before? I didn't. Links won't work here. You'd have to send it to me on Facebook or Instagram, because I had to block links because people kept linking bad sites in comments. So, also, is less than 0.07 seconds latency good enough to pull focus? So let's do the math on that. If we take 100 milliseconds and we divide it by 24, that means each frame, could have done that math in my head, is 4 milliseconds. So 0.07 is 2 frames on a 24 FPS. Yes, old Teradeks are about less than 1 frame. But 4K, Teradek is like 3 frames or 4 frames. It's bad. It's definitely double the price, both at 1080. Yeah. Well, yeah. So what the difference is, analog versus digital is really what it comes down to. The old Teradeks are an analog feed. The new ones, because there's so much data with 4K, and the more affordable ones are compressed video. That's why there's a delay, because it takes time to compress and decompress on the other end. And that's why you get those delays in there. JP says, I also have a KX and I'm trying to find a B cam that can keep up with the image quality of red. I know red is red, and it's hard to find something that can keep up. I mean, I don't think it's as hard as you think, JP. Komodo X, I would take an FX3 Sony, I would take an FX30 Sony, and I would match those just fine to the red. Komodo X is about 16 and a half stops of dynamic range, and the FX3 is 15. I think the FX30 is 14-ish and a half. Either of those you can easily match. The Z8 is very, very easy to match. I wouldn't think you should have too much of a difficult time bringing them in, because a B cam you're not holding on forever. It's quick. Usually using it for close-ups or cut-throughs when you're on your edit. So even if it's not matched perfectly, you're not going to notice in 2 seconds of video. Canon C400 is A cam, and upcoming R5 Mark II is B cam. Looks like a nice combo. Any thoughts? Sure. C400 is a cool camera. The R5 Mark II, everything I know about it, it's going to be a slightly better version than the R5, but I don't think it's going to fix my highlight issue. But it'd be a nice combo. The C400 is really nice. You're most welcome. Go back over here. Make sure I don't have any Bitcoiners over here in my Rumbles. No one adds comments on Rumbles. All the cool kids are on YouTube, so I usually watch on YouTube. Well, I appreciate you. There were people that were adding comments on Rumble, but they were all Bitcoin people going, follow me here for all the latest Bitcoin, this and that. I'm like, no. Technically, they are poo-pooing on older Teradeks or new ones. It's the 4K. 4K is a problem because there's not enough bandwidth that they can use in transmitter power and bandwidth for 4K analog. So it has to go compressed digital. That's the problem. Did you have the Atlas Motors or Fizz controller from Red Rock? I did have I had the big Red Rock Micro, what was it? The big one. That's what I had. And then they came out with the less jittery version of firmware. I sold that probably 3 years ago, I think. Right now, I like the Tilta. I think Tilta does a really good job on their follow focus. I think when their big boy follow focus comes out, it's gonna be cool. And Tilta and DJI are two companies that everybody hated at first, and now they're starting to respect because they're branching out and doing new things. And DJI's follow focus, it's pretty good. People like it. And their transmission system's pretty good. They like it. Thanks for doing the math with me. That puts me in perspective. Yep. Renee says, recording audio directly into the camera for an ultra-low budget narrative shoot with the red Komodo X. Didn't need to choose just one type of microphone. What would you opt for? Shotgun mic or lav mics? A narrative? Eesh. you're not going to have an audio person. Honestly, in that situation, I would probably opt for a lav mic. And the reason is shotgun is very directional. And so if the person runs out and you don't follow them to frame, any audio is not going to get picked up. It's not going to be picked up near as well. The further they get, you're going to be more susceptible with room reflection and such. You're going to have lots of bouncing reflections as well with a shotgun. And the fact that it's narrative scares the ever-living hell out of me for being, ultra low budget. I'm gonna lav them. On big sets, we lav and then we boom. And that's how we use the boom almost always, and our lavs are our backup. But sometimes we can't get a boom in there. If it's a wide shot, you're not getting a boom in there. So you got to rely on those lavs. I didn't see you on Instagram, James. Where are you talking about being ignored? Oh, there you are. No, the math is millisecond, 1,000 frame rate. So 141.6 milliseconds. Yes, but 0.07 was, let's see what the phrase was. Let me see what the framing was here. I mean, I could just really be bad at math today. It's entirely possible. Yeah, so that math there was 0.07 seconds. It was not 0.07 milliseconds. So 0.07 is 70 milliseconds. So 41 milliseconds is 1 point whatever. Right? Brandon, do my math. What did I hit that for? Do the math. Don't trust this dude. Hello, Bob. How are you? I would say Blackmagic 6K full frame or Pixis could help with the image quality keep up better than I don't agree with that. Neither of those cameras is going to have the dynamic range. Both of them will shoot a very nice 6K image. And you could use it. I mean, 13 stops you can get away with as B cam. You're not wrong, but I would go for an FX3 or an A7S3 before I picked up a Blackmagic. Just my opinion, but that's my opinion. 100 milliseconds is 2.4. Also type that before you math. So, okay. Trust the Asian on math. Fair enough. Plus, I suck at math, so I mean I can do the easy stuff. But I was right, wasn't I? It's 100 milliseconds is 2.4, and I was 0.7 would be 70 milliseconds. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. I don't know. I didn't hear. Oh yeah. So you're not going to listen. You're just going to comment. How's the C400 out there? You getting lots of good love and everything you're showing? Instagram delay was different. I can imagine it is different. What's your highlight issue? So on the R5C, if I'm shooting to try to use usable shadows, and I use this example all the time because it's unique to me, but when I'm shooting like time lapse or video of something that would time lapse where I've got dark shrubs, dark trees, and I've got shadows in the trees, and then I've got these beautiful bright clouds with lots of detail, storm clouds and such. The highlights, if I expose to get those shadows, I'm literally trying to pull up a photo here. Thought I had one recent. Nope, I don't have one on here. the dynamic range that's in the highlights on the R5, R5C, there's only a couple of stops there. So I can't get any detail out of them. It's kind of a weird thing. On the Z8, if you look on the 8K video, I just posted it yesterday. It's the 8K version off the Z8. I exposed to get the shadows, and the skies were almost blown out, you think, but you could go in and pull it right back down. They're still there. And I'm able to stretch those and get some severe contrast out of those clouds. And it's not quite something that I could do with the R5s. In the coal mine, or the silver mine in Silverton, that all of that, there are some shots up there. Some of them didn't turn out right because the freaking clouds were gray and the only spots that showed up. But you can actually see in the shadows of the structure in the dark, and you can see the detail in the sky. And it's something I could never get on the R5. I'll get to sleep. I don't blame you. It's a cool camera. I mean, I honestly think that Canon is going to do exceptionally well with the C400. It's a neat cam. And the dollar amount is I'm not going to say it's stupid good, but it's stupid good. I mean, it's clearly Canon saying, okay, we're going to give you a really good camera, and we're not going to have you break the bank like C500 originally, Mark II, or even the C3. That was weird. I had Dragon, Komodo, and I had Komodo X, and I had A7S. No, I didn't have the Komodo X at the same time. Well, I did for briefly. The A7S III, which is an FX3, and I had the FX30. And I had no problems matching those. No problems at all matching those. When I would bring in a V-Raptor, it ups the level quite a bit. But FX30 is really, it's kind of a no-brainer. Throw around that Komodo like you abuse for a living. I will. Blue's going to get beat up here soon. We'll be sharing some news soon. It'll be interesting. See how it all goes. See what y'all think. See all the fun stuff about it. But yeah, Komodo's going to find itself in some really extreme situations. No, same thing. We're talking video is where I pull out that stuff. On photos, you get a little more dynamic range on the R5, and for time lapse, that works. But those coal shots, or the mine shots, that was video. That was 8K 60 on the camera. So that's video. And that's something I could always do on a red. I loved that I could just pull out those skies. And Dragon did such a wonderful job giving me several, like 4 or 5 stops in the highlights that I could just manipulate those clouds and really pull them out. And I love that. Interesting. Never heard of a C400. What's that? I hear it's like the latest, coolest thing. That's what I hear. Can't wait for September. Got a C400 coming. Pumped. I will get mileage. I mean, if you don't have any camera and you have, well, okay, let me preface that. Yeah, I don't have to preface it. If you don't have any camera, if you're not considering the C400, then you're being silly. If you're not considering the FX6, you're being silly. If you're not considering the Blackmagic, you're being silly. If you're not considering the Komodo X, you're being silly. All of these cameras are really high quality, good cameras for various amounts of money. Komodo X is the most expensive at $10K. Z8, you should consider it, although the reason I didn't throw it in there, it's not quite video first, but it's close. It's really close. The FX3 is video first, and it's a very competent camera. And if you're only shooting 4K, man, that's a tough one to pass up. The Blackmagics, I don't have a problem with Blackmagics per se. I don't like 13 stops of dynamic range. I've been there. That's GH5 territory. It's GH5S territory. GH5 is slightly less, but I mean, it's noticeable. It is a big notice. Yeah, I saw that connection issue that popped in. I don't know what that was. Starlink switching, I don't know. Starlink's been really good lately. Sold an R5C to a wedding shooter yesterday. Yep. Because you're going for the C400, that makes perfect sense to me. And when the R5 II comes out, everything I've heard about it is it's not any different in the highlights. That's what I've heard. Rumors are that the upcoming R5 II would have 16 tops. That is not what I've heard. It even has a usable SN2. Yeah, see it. These. Okay, here's my beef with dynamic range tests that people do. And I understand why they were doing them this way. And I understand they were trying to get to uniformity. Unfortunately, you can get around the uniformity. When you do a signal to noise ratio of 2 to get that, well, this is a usable, you have no idea how much noise reduction is built into the camera. Unless it's shooting straight raw, you have no idea. And that's why they always say, oh, well, reds don't do that well. Wrong, because you're trying to apply a signal to noise ratio of 2, which knocks several stops off, because that's what all the other cameras do, and they have noise reduction built in that you don't know about and you can't control because it's not raw. That's in the pipeline, the image processing pipeline, and that's reality. I think you should compare all to the very top and apply the noise reduction in post as best you can and get what you can get. Because oddly enough, when you do that with a red, you get a completely usable image and you get several stops of dynamic range more. So, usable 14 stops, signal noise of 2, it's going to be 14 is what it's going to be on the R5 too. From what I've been told. I've been told wrong again, but I kind of nailed the C400 quite a bit, almost. Mostly. About 85% right. DJI SDR video transmission leaked. And that's what I said. There's several things coming out of the 17th. There's DJI is not sitting still, and everything that I've now heard about the DJI drone ban is not happening. So the drone ban does not seem to be indicating DJI is going to be out anymore. So everybody with a DJI drone can rest assured there. Hated my GH5. LOL, sold that guy in no time. I literally bought that camera to understand video issues and then had to resell. I used it for, I would say, almost 2 years, and it had limitations bad. I bought it because I didn't want to carry the red everywhere. And so I was doing vlogs with it. I was doing all the weird BS stuff. And I got really, really tired of Panasonic image. Panasonic image to me is less dynamic range and a blue-green sky. I could pick out a red camera sky, and a Panasonic sky all day long. Somebody puts up, here's a bunch of skies. Which camera was which? I'm like, that one's Panasonic. That one's a red. That one's a red. I don't know that one. They just have looks to them. The Panasonic is always this blue-green that comes out of it. No matter how much color you do, you can find the blue-green. And I'm freaking yellow-green colorblind, somewhat. So, yeah, there. What's she doing? You coming to get happy birthdays? She does. Oh yeah. Are you gonna wish Cognition a happy birthday? Come wish Cognition a happy birthday, and then everybody can wish you a happy birthday. She's like, oh no, I don't want to be on camera. Oh no, you gotta get in camera. Happy birthday to her. Hi everyone, happy birthday, Cognition. There we go. Yep. It's just us peeps. We're just talking. Hi, Oakley. Yeah. We're chit-chatting. Dirk says, happy birthday, Mrs. Balcom. Do you want to sous vide the meats? They're frozen. Yeah, they are. Okay. All right, fine. We'll do them otherwise. Okay, add them out. Would you move your butt? Your butt is in the shot. Okay, there's a dog weenie. Oh, it's wiggling. Really? Would you stop? Jeez. Dog porn. There. Well, he's fine. He's a good puppy. He moves, but he's a good puppy. He's trying to avoid Oakley. Frank says, happy birthday. Brandon says, despite no longer owning, got my own fogger in here, owning any camera gear, I'm very excited for the R5 II. What excites you, Brandon? What is it that makes you happy? Happy. I'm happy to be wrong. I mean, if Canon introduces the R5 II and it has nice highlights and like 15 stops of dynamic range and it's an 8K and it doesn't overheat, I would happily look at it. Why wouldn't I? Because that would be everything that I like. This camera, I wish it had a little more stops of dynamic range because I can't squeeze everything out of 14 stops. I'd like me some 17 stops, 18 stops, and I'd like extended highlights to exist in Komodo X, which is not going to happen, but you know. So what else is everybody working on? Brandon, you're going to convert your FJ and go cruising? That's what I heard. Frank, what are you working on? Fairless Syntax, Scotty V, James Lou, what are you working on? I'm working on C400s everywhere. What's everybody working on? Because like I got some really good wildlife footage. I was very happy in Colorado, and now I want to do storm chasing. And I was really excited because we were going to get a massive hurricane. I was like, yeah, thunderstorms and tornadoes, not for the bad, but I wanted to do a little storm chasing. Yeah, that completely passed us by. Not even close. Brenda says, it feels like Canon, despite their history and given spec rumors are real, it looks like they're going hard. Looks like a real do-it-all camera. Well, from what I had heard, there is no R5C Mark II. It's just a all-in-one R5 II. Just ordered a rooftop tent, awning, new roof racks. I want to do more outdoor filmmaking. Rooftop tents, the best thing, Brandon, is go on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. Because everybody that buys a rooftop tent They get it, they put it on, they drive around with it, they ruin their fuel economy. They use it 3 times. They think it's a pain in the butt, and then they sell it for half the price. And so you can get a heck of a lot of value out of that. The big problem with rooftop tents is you have to be level. If your vehicle's not level, you're not sleeping level. And that's a problem. But they are kind of cool. Want to do more outdoor filming? I hear you, bro. Dude, nature is awesome. I love nature. It's so unexpected. It's kind of like the seeds, the whatever the heck they were, white seeds that I'd filmed with the Z8. We had no idea that was a thing. We didn't even know that the trees did that. And we just happened to pull into a national forest and found a little camp spot, and it was inundated with this. And we were like, what the hell is this? I'm like, this is the freaking coolest thing ever. And I'm like, quick, let's get everything set up. We set up motion control. We set up everything as fast as we could to get those seeds because that was cool. That was so cool. Brandon says, yeah, it's an experiment for sure, but I love nature and I love filming in it. And I see a gap that I can fill. Ooh, interesting. Brandon's a gap filler. He's Zap-A-Gap. I can see where you're going to go towards. I feel like I feel you enough to see what you're going to do, and yeah, it is an interesting gap. I like animals. Animals are just too freaking. Except for this one. This one's a pain in the butt. I like animals. They're too freaking cool. I like skies. I love trees. I love water. I mean, freaking water. Any kind of movement of water is just cool. I love the way it works. I love the way it moves. I love the way it's varied. It is random. I love water. I love grandiose and I love close up. I love everything about nature. It's so wild. Except everything around my house. I don't ever want to shoot around my house for some stupid reason. Mostly because it's hot. But the hardest thing I have in nature, the hardest thing, and there are photographers out there that do it, and I don't know what they're doing, but making something that is massive appear massive. Like Canyonlands. Canyonlands is incredible. It's awesome. It's huge. It's like the Grand Canyon almost. But it's hard to make it look like it is in real life. It's hard to make the video or the photo to make you go, oh my God, that's huge. The scale doesn't translate. I don't know how to do it. Making videos for convocation using my Raptor Komodo X and FX3. See, that's a powerful combination. A, B, and C cam right there. Yep. As I inhaled the wrong smoke. Yes, more guests are coming soon. Soon. The holidays kind of threw me, and the trip that we had, and a bunch of all the city gears and all that. But I did use city gear to grab a couple of guests, so we will have some guests soon. And I definitely want to get back into that. And if not, just not someone who we can all learn from, but someone we can all just talk with as well. I like the idea of having 4 or 5 people on. I mean, I'd be happy to have 8 of you guys on, just to chit chat, have multiple people talking. I like it. I hope I can inspire people to get out and hike more. Hiking is fun. It's tough. It's tough with gear, but I do like the results. Magnetic coaster. It is a magnetic coaster. Well, except when I want it to be. Nope, won't stick now. A magnetic coaster would be dumb, wouldn't it? You pick it up and you go to drink and it just dumps all the water. Scale is different, but people can do it, Brandon. And I don't know, some of you may be accomplished in this. How do you make scale appear? The only way I know how to do it is to put a human in it, which is what I did on the salt flats. Put me in the middle of it, and people know how huge I am, and all of a sudden I'm this tiny little person walking on that. It's pretty good. Yeah, any thoughts on the Tiffin magnetic filter mounts out there? Yeah, they work. They're fine. The little pop-on filters. There's several of them out there. I think Pola Pro is doing them now. I know that Breakthrough had done them before. They're cool. My problem is trusting that. They're strong and they're on there, but you bump something, it's coming off. And knowing me, I want to go along and I'm going to bump a rock. I'll be, whoo! I'm glad I didn't hit that magnetic filter. I hit this, but it knocked the magnetic filter off and it lands on the rock and breaks. That's how my luck runs. So, well, I think you need humans, something that gives it scale. I agree. But even trees don't give it scale because trees are so confusing. You go up into like high elevations and it's like bonsai. You have little tiny evergreens. They're about this tall. And you're like, oh my God, this is so cute. And they're like, if I took a video right now of this, no one would know how big this or little this was. Drones help by giving parallax. Parallax to me is one of the best ways to show scale. However, think about on a drone how much you have to move that drone to get that parallax. You're literally going over like 300 or 400 feet of a pan to get that parallax as you're kind of going across. I can't do that with my sliders. Kessler makes some long sliders, but they don't make 100-foot. I guess they do. That might be fun. Set up the longest slider I can do. Huh. I have to think about a project for that. It's tough. I failed at it. I don't think I've ever displayed scale properly. At least to my eyes. Other people may disagree. But like Brandon, that special spot that you know about, that I know about, that you took Joey out to, that place is massive. And if you don't have a drone, it's almost impossible to scale that. I shot a bunch of stills. We had a dust storm, so I didn't get to shoot video. We were going to go out there this last trip too, but it was 102 degrees. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Defense Dad. Ooh, Defense Dad. I like it. Trees are tricky. I lived on a tree-lined street, but every time I try to photograph it, the tree cover over the street looks thin. Yeah. It's funny how we have some of the most best sight lines to see stuff. And you put a camera up to it, and it's like, I don't see it that way. And you can match our vision to the lens and the sensor, and it won't look the same. It's like, ugh. Unless you got a zoom, my Mavic 3 has the 7X and it works well. The 7X is good because you get that parallax, and that parallax shows big time because it's compressed. I love it. And yeah, trees don't do much. I love them, but they're not great at giving something else relative size unless it's human. Dude, there's a spot on, I need to go back. It was all getting closed down because of the stupid forest fire when I went last year in the Redwoods National Forest. Along the road, there's this one spot where you can get off the road and you're in the redwood forest, and it's almost pitch black. I'm exaggerating. To a camera, it's basically pitch black. And you can barely see any sun through the trees. But to me, it is the coolest thing ever because it's so dark and mysterious, and I love that. Do you think the Z8 is an indication to come for how cam manufacturers are going to spoil us in the next? Yes. The Z8 is Nikon's way of saying, buckle up, we're serious now. But guess what that does? That tells Canon and Sony and Blackmagic and Red and everybody else, there's more competition. You don't get to rest on your laurels anymore. I like telephoto lenses with someone far, far away. Good to show it to. Yeah, that's cool. Cable cars are good for. Yes, they are. Yeah. Anything that's orbiting anything in a telephoto in the sky, looking down or looking at the sky was magical. Well, not so much. You have to have some ground in there. The sky doesn't show scale. I'm a photographer, not a filmmaker, but stumbled across this, so I figured I would do. Oh, yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's like, this one scene on the job that I had a couple months back now. Wow. Where there was this long road that goes down and then back up. And it's all tree lined. And it's so much so that it comes over the top. So you get this tunnel of trees. And I'm at the far end and I'm shooting across. And I want this shot so bad. It's so nice with this big giant rig coming through down the road. And I wish I could have ruined my rest of the day to get that shot more, because I got it coming, but I had to get back across the road into my vehicle and pulled out in front of it before it got there, or before the lead cars got there. Or it would have been over. And I got the shot and I thought it was cool, but it would have been so much better if I'd have been able to hang in there. And that was another scale issue, kind of like you're talking about Defense Dad with the trees. It's hard to do. Have you hiked and shot a time lapse at Bristlecone Pine? No, I haven't, but I have some secret coordinates out there, because there are some really cool things out there that either if you know about and I know about it, or everybody knows about it and I just am fooling myself. But I was told by someone who says that no one knows about it, and I know it is out there. There's a bunch of cool stuff out there, and I wanted to, but that's a long trek. The Redwoods is my favorite. It really is a really cool place. And if you go way, way back on my channel, go all the way back to like 2018, and I did a just how to use the Kessler shuttle dolly kind of out there in the Redwoods. And I had to show scale. And the only way I could show scale was to be right next to a fallen redwood and use it to go by as I'm kind of looking off. And that was about the only shot I feel like I pulled it off. Kevin says, okay, Scott, sorry, I'm on my computer now. I need your help. I have to shoot a book tour using excuse my burp. I need good audio. I have my Rode NTG5 plugged directly in, and I need a backup solution. Can you throw a lav? I mean, the quick answer, if you could get a lav on there, put a lav on the person and be done with it. If you can't do a lav, get the DJI Mic 2s and plug those in as well on the other channel, and just say, can you throw this on? Or can you just hide it right behind this book? Anything you can do to get a mic close. The problem I use on-camera mics a lot because it's better than nothing. But if you're trying to get high-quality audio, you need to be really close to the person. So the question would come down to, is this book tour that you're doing, are you in close contact with the person that's doing the book tour? And thus, can you get a lav on them? Because if you can, your life is so much better. Thinking Rode Wireless Pro with timecode using my Mutant EXi. What do you think? I'm not a fan too much of the Rodes. I prefer the Mic 2s over the Rodes for that type of solution. And then if you're going to get a big boy set, get you the Deity Theos, because they rock. They just rock. They really do. Worth it. And if you're going to do this more than once, then buy once, cry once, and be done with it. And you'll have it, and you'll be able to use it for everything in the future. Bristlecone pines elevation is real. Yup. Let's see here. Braille syntax. Could you tell us something about the nature wildlife documentary market? How has it changed in recent years? Is there a demand for it? Has the market growing or shrunk in the recent years? The demand is there. It's always been a very small market, and it's kind of niche and not necessarily a good old boys network, but it's if you're in it, you're in it. I'm not actually in it. I'm just on the outside with some connections. And if you're like I got a friend who does macro stuff, and he's got like multi-year contracts to just do this, and this over multi-years. And that's the same thing. They say, go out, get this, and do this, and this is your multi-year contract, because it takes a while to get that stuff. It's always there, and it's a lot of love. You got to love to do it. Is there a marketplace to sell clips about nature and animals? That's kind of gone. The marketplace for that is kind of gone. My best thing to tell you is to make your own nature doc. I got a lot out of my little silly nature docs that I did, water ones and such that did well for me. Well enough that it mattered to me. Do your own mini docs about something. Find something that you love. Spend the time, because that's the thing. You could say, okay, I want to focus it on Rex down here, and well, you can't just shoot that in a day. You can't go out in a week and shoot that, because it's the life of Rex. It's what does Rex do in the wintertime? What does Rex do in the summertime? What does Rex do when he gets up in the morning? What does Rex do when he goes to bed? These kinds of things. And so it's a lot of work. So find a subject that you can do the subject, put a mini doc out there, and put it out there and see what happens. I mean, the 416 is a fantastic mic. But if he's in a book tour, he's going to be in a hard surfaced room, a bookstore with hard floors, hard ceilings. And that's going to bounce around like crazy. And you know what are you going to do there? King says, what you said in yesterday's stream, do you think the struggles in Hollywood is not going to end soon? It is not going to end soon. Everything I'm told is you need to stay in it until 2026. And in 2026, the doors will open back up, but not fully, partially. It's a mix of in the life of stuff like traveling, planes, hotels, car rides, and then big auditoriums. In those cases, then I would get a short shotgun mic, a short throw. NTG5 would do fine, because you're really getting ambient. You're getting someone walking in a crowd, and you need both the crowd and them, because otherwise it doesn't match if it's just a lav with them walking in a crowd. Planes, hotels, car rides, yeah, all of that. Yeah, NTG5 would be fine. What you could do is get a close cardioid mic and like a 416, a long shotgun mic, and put one on either side and one to each channel. That way you're going to pick up stuff close and you're going to pick up stuff far. That's one way to do it. A trend that I see a lot these days that drives me nuts, admittedly more on the YouTube side, is documentaries and reviews that people are using wireless lavs. But oh my God, Defense Dad, I literally have it in my list of videos to do, and I can't bring myself to do it because I'm afraid somebody's going to take me seriously. And I was going to literally just sit there and hold the microphone and doing everything at the end of the video that no one's going to ever watch because they always go to 30% and they stop. I was going to say, don't hold your mic like this. It's so irritating. It's a TikTok thing. And to me, if you follow anything on TikTok in a professional world, you have missed the boat. Because TikTok is a culmination. TikTok to me is AI. It is a summary of a summary of a summary. You don't quite end up with reality. So if you're following trends on TikTok and bringing it into the professional world, oh my God, it's really annoying when people do that. They like to have that cool, crisp, clean voice. It's like, this is the way I get that cool proximity effect with these DJI Mic 2s. No. You put it here, and you do a little thing we big boys like to call EQ and noise reduction and compression, and you get all of that. I literally have a video out there showing how to take a $17 cheap Amazon mic and make it sound halfway decent. Dirk, I appreciate the suggestion, but I'm very happy with NTG5. I'm needing a lav solution with timecode. Well, lav solution with timecode. That's the problem. Because Zaxcom owns the patent on it, and yes, Rode has it on there, but they're also in the middle of a lawsuit. So what happens when you get an update, you didn't realize it? I don't agree on Hollywood for 2026. So much going on behind the scenes currently to turn things around. I know, but I hear things from higher ups that say 2026. Believe me, I don't want it to be true. I think it sucks. Hello, Ari. Yes, I read the question wrong. Sorry. Essentially, I need two sources simultaneously. One close. Yeah. Do a short cardioid and a long one. If I like the Octavas, the Octava, whatever it is, I've talked about it many times. It's cheap. It's $350. It's a great cardioid mic for close up. And then the NTG5 is not really a long range mic. It's a short throw mic, so it's kind of close up. But close ups with the shotgun, no sweat. There's so much to the video business that isn't Hollywood. This is true. It has nothing to do with Hollywood. This is true. I was speaking about Hollywood specifically. And yes, you're correct. It's everywhere else is popping. They're making stuff left and right. They're just not doing it in Hollywood. Hey, hot stuff. What's up, Simon? I hear things too. What about the typical Sync Track E's caffeinated camera? The Track E's are personal recorders. They're not wireless, right? They're only the recording. Yeah. Yeah. If you're doing a wireless lav, you don't need time code, Brandon, because if you're going into your Komodo X, then that's real time in there. I wouldn't sweat the time code and just get a lav that works for you. I would highly recommend this or get a Sennheiser. But anything with these little things called AA batteries, because there is nothing worse than you run out of your rechargeable and you're missing everything because your rechargeable died. That's unfun, as they say. Bill, hey Bill. What was the lav mic you suggested I get way back when doing videos for the consulting firm? It was, yeah, this is a Sennheiser. Back then it was the G3, then it was the G4. Now they have the next version, which is digital. They're 32-bit float wireless with time codes, so that's an option. The talent is going to be away from me and not plugged into the KX. Well, okay, so let's get the terminology right. You're not doing a wireless lav. You're just doing a remote recording solution, in which case time code would be nice, but if you can't jam that time code, the time code is irrelevant. Time codes drift, even on time code devices. So it's not something you can give them. They put it on in the morning and you never touch them and everything is in sync. Once a day, at least, we usually will jam twice a day or such. You gotta jam that time code or you're gonna have drift. So there's a lot to consider there. I mean, all of those are going to be fine. Doesn't the new PR2 from Deity remote recording solution have 32-bit float and timecode built in? I believe it does. And if you have any Deity timecode, then that would make sense. The other thing is, don't forget, timecode needs to be both on your camera and every device that is disconnected from your camera. My thought was to jam before they went on. It would only be used for a few hours each, and that would be fine. The jams will hold. The jams will hold for 24 hours approximately. You'll get maybe a frame off after 24 hours. Typically, we're doing 12, 14-hour days at worst. So if you jam it twice, you never have a problem. But you can get away with jamming it once. I mean, do you have any time code now? Let's ask that question. If you don't have time code now, then you need a solution that does all of the above. The rest of them are basically right in front of me. Got it? I wouldn't care about, but this is a sponsored and lots of people paying to have all their audio of the talent, right? Pull up the GM sync. No, I do not. Okay. So you need a wireless, or you need a timecode solution to have timecode on a device. So you can look at the tentacle trackees and put a microphone on that and put them on there. You will then need to have a tentacle for your Komodo X as well. You can look at the Deity PR2, I think it's called, that's releasing right now, I believe. That has timecode built in, 32-bit float audio internal, and it's a recording for a lav. And then you would need to buy a timecode device, a Tentacle TC1, not Tentacle, Deity TC1 for your Komodo X. All of that will plug into your lovely, nice brass Mutiny X side, which is pretty cool. I was literally trying to come up with a way that you could be like silver, gold, and platinum on your Komodo X, but you don't have your Komodo X is white. So, brass, top brass too, heavy brass. How much more does it weigh? It's got to weigh 3 times as much as the aluminum, right? Or aluminium. The So you need to invest in timecode. And you need to think about your future, Brandon, because if this is something that you love, then get something that you can grow into. Tentacle makes very fine timecode devices. Deity makes very fine timecode devices. Both of those brands are fantastic and great, and you won't go wrong on either of them. But you just need to choose one and branch out from there. I have 4 Deity timecode TC1s. I have the Deity the Theos has timecode in the receiver. Which is weird, but wait, these have timecode on remote recording, don't they? Yes. The Theos have timecode on remote recording, but it's 32-bit. That might be a good solution for you there, bud, because I was trying to go back through my review on all the specs. These have recording in there, but you can't do recording and wireless transmission at the same time. So they do have timecode, and you can do timecode when they're just recording and not wireless. So now you buy a Theos. She can use them as, or she or he, whoever it is, can use them as a wireless lav or a remote recording device with timecode. If it's wireless lav, it goes back to your camera. You don't care about timecode. But the Theos, you can buy the TC1s, and you now have synced timecode on 2 different devices. That's a good solution. But what you gain with that, with the Theos, you gain a wireless lav pack that is a wireless, purpose-built lav pack with the Rode Video Mic Pros, with the DJI Mic 2s, and the Track E's. The problem you have is internal batteries. Those, they're going to go out. It just is. So yeah, I would push you to look towards the Deity Theos, but you could just buy the Track E and the other Tentacle Sync for now, and then get a wireless lav in the future. It's fine. All of the above. I'm going matte black on everything and brass instead of red. Oh, you got to have that red. It looks so good. Oh, yeah. Brass is 17.5 ounces. But how many ounces is the aluminium? Photography. Hey, Scott, thank you for joining me on my channel's live stream yesterday. I learned so much. Folks, Scott is the real deal. Not that you guys didn't know it. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Let's see here. Slim. Slim? Slim is not a number. Hey. High Speed Films. Hey. Arguably the yellow-green color cast on the GH was a GH5 issue, not Panasonic generally. Not true. I got the exact same color cast on the EVA1. And it wasn't evident in the GH5S, for example. The GH5S was a Sony sensor, which was interesting. Aluminum was a quarter of the weight. Okay. That'll do it. That'll do it. I agree with you. Deity offers a wider range to grow into. I'm not trying to sell you on Deity. I'm just trying to tell you what makes the most amount of sense from my brain. And Deity is an ecosphere for sure. Yeah. See, do any of you struggle to explain the difference between a filmmaker and someone who knows how to just use a camera? Yeah, the there is in the high end video world. I hate saying video in that. There's videographer and cinematographer, and that one is a tough question to explain. The way I explain it in my belief is that a cinematographer controls everything. They control the camera, they control the light, and that's both the existing light and any light they put in and any light they take away with controlling the light with using Duvetine and such. Why am I blanking? I'm turning into Joe Biden. A videographer is someone who shoots in available light. That is the best way I can describe it, because I don't know many people who go up and set up their own lights and turn off other lights that call themselves videographers. They typically won't call themselves a cinematographer. They're dealing with light as well as camera. Other than that, anybody that says, well, all you do is just push the red button, you can't win with those people. Those are the people that'll say, why are you charging me $5,000 for a wedding? All you do is push a red button. My answer to them always, because I know I'm not going to shoot the wedding, because I hate weddings, is I can set up a camera and push record for you. Let me know what you want to do with the video, and yeah, we'll do it for $500. Enjoy. You're going to need some high-end SSDs to download that footage. It's a tough one. Great question. Yep. I ask because as a photographer, I struggle with people who I know who think photographers are no longer needed because of cell phones. Now, it's rule of thirds, Defense Dad. This is the way I describe photographers. And thus, photographers, as I was telling Vahography, it's easier to me for a photographer to become a cinematographer than it is for a cinematographer to become a photographer. I feel that, and it's probably not true. Probably cinematographers are easy to go back the other way, but I just know if you are good as a photographer, you're going to be good as a cinematographer, almost certainly. And that is rule of thirds. 1/3 of photographers out there, they walk up somewhere, they look around, and they go, click, and they walk away, and they get the shot. And you look at it, you're like, magical. It's a beautiful shot. Next third, they walk up, they look around, they take a few shots. One of them is good. It's great. And you're like, that's wonderful. You're excellent. You're an excellent photographer. There's the last third. They're spraying and praying. And maybe they get 1 out of 500 that are good, or maybe not. I am not in the top third. I am a middle third person, for sure. I have to think really, really hard and take a couple of shots because in my brain I see things differently than what the camera sees. But I know many people that are in the top third. And anybody is in the bottom third. Anybody can be in the bottom third with a cell phone. Anybody with a lot of training can make it to the middle third. But very few people, I guess 1/3, but very few people are in that top third where you walk up and you pose, like posing people, like doing a still shoot with a model. I have a hard time getting the pose right, getting them, okay, I want you to just kind of relax and just kind of feel along the side of the tree as you place your head on it. I have a hard time with that. And I usually have to do 5 or 6 different things before one of them sticks in. Some people just walk up, tell them exactly what to do. The model knows exactly, follow directions, and click, and you're magical. Brandon could also get the non-US Theos. It's not that, Julius, that you can't buy the non-US. They are all the same. When you register it, it registers where you are. It literally has to use the app with the GPS on. And it registers where you are and it disables it. And believe me, I tried numerous ways to try to circumvent that with VPN, et cetera, and it can't be done. On top of that, anytime you do a signal scan, it is going to disable that as well. And believe me, all these people with roads, theirs is going to get deactivated. Zaxcom's patent is pretty blatant. Yep, Art. We always jam time code before starting up and after lunch, or about every 4.5 hours of a 12-hour day. Our tentacle boxes run all day. The DD is good stuff. It's just good practice. They all should run no problem on a 14-hour day. They should have no problems, but I don't believe in shoulds. I believe in knocking out the middle should, the middle could, the middle would, and just make it does. Also, if y'all haven't seen Art posted on Instagram, I think it's the only place you posted it, right, Art? He did a commercial. He and his production crew did an entire commercial on Scott's Smoky Salt, Scotty B. Goods, and it is incredible. It is. Everybody should go out there and watch it. It's on. Is it Simone? Is that the name, or is it Sim One? Ever since that movie with what's his name, who played Tootsie, he did that one where he was Simone, but it was Sim One. Now I always can't get it right. But go find Art's commercial. It is absolutely incredible. I can't appreciate it enough. It was awesome. Defense said they don't understand the creative mindset usually. This is true. I have the best red buttons though. Yes, you do have nice little red buttons, tiny little micro buttons. It's funny because it's true. Spraying and praying. Yep. That's why a lot of people are going back to film. They have to relearn their craft that way because spraying and praying with film is cost per. I mean, believe me, when I hit my hat, I'm mad. When I went from my Nikon 6006 to the D100, I was so happy because I could then spray and pray and learn because I used that. I don't know how many shutter actuations I got on. I must have done 60, 70,000 on that D100. And I would go through that. I would shoot like 900 shots on a session. And I would get 3 or 4 good shots that I was really liking on there. But I learned from that because I have a memory. I know exactly what I've done, when, where, and how, and all that. So I can go back and see a shot and know exactly what I had done. So when I get the good shot that I like, I can replay it back in my head where I was, what I did, and I learned from that. And it brought me into that middle level for sure. Were those guitars or bass guitars on your wall yesterday? I play very poorly, but yes, those are guitars. I don't have any bass guitars. I have a PRS electric. I have a Taylor American Dream acoustic. I no longer have my Gibson Les Paul. I no longer have. I used to have a bunch of guitars. I love guitars. I love just fiddle farting around with them and playing. I'm inherently a keyboard player now, formerly a percussionist, drummer, as I believe you are. I just got rid of all my drum kits as well. I'm slimming down. Not this way, just this way. And I have basically all keyboard with some acoustic stuff because I just love to unplug sometimes. But that is that. Let's see here. High Speed Films. Now I want to know who High Speed Films is on. Oh, I can't click on you? That's weird. I have to find it. Usually you can click on people and see it. You have the link, so post it wherever. We need to make an end screen with the web address and a logo animation. Let's do something. It's way too good to just be sitting there. I did not assume anything. I leave it up to you, sir, and whatever you want, whenever you want. I'm happy to start the clock. We got 60 seconds on the timer. And we'll see. He's gonna go over. He's gonna go over. No, he's happy. He's too close to the camera though. Yeah, you, sir, Art, and your team are amazing, and I have it on the books to get you guys out something special for that. It's on there. We're moving things around right now, and things will happen for you and your team because they're awesome, incredible. Yeah, you went about 60 seconds. What do you think, buddy? Let's see here. I want to know who High Speed Films is on Rumble. Let's see. High Speed Films. Well, all right then. There's not really any videos there. I was expecting some High Speed Films. That's funny. I will post that link from Art. Y'all can all see it. It's incredible. It's well done. They went completely all out on that shot. It was incredible. Let's see here. All right, who's got last minute comments, questions? We can go a long time if the questions come in. Otherwise, you know how the tangents I'm going to get on. Sutton, I have something coming for you shortly. Let's see. Wow, really? Why all of a sudden do I have followers on Rumble? I have 8 people watching right now on Rumble. That's wild. Thanks for your help. Everything, Mon. Yeah, anytime, dude. Just call me, dude. You don't have to text or message me. Just call my number. I'm going to look at the tentacle. Yep, tentacle's good. They've been around forever. And it's an affordable way to get in, but you're going to have to buy 2. Oh, I did leave it on, didn't I? These things are so much fun. The new. I need to turn that off. Let's see here. Biography. Just finished watching the end of Dexter New Blood last night. Can't believe Showtime effed the ending up twice on the show. Yeah, I had a friend that was on that show. I actually liked it, but yeah, I kind of felt like they could have left it a little better. Kind of like Justified. I freaking love Justified. And then Justified New City or whatever wasn't bad. I liked it, but it got annoying fast, and then it got weird, and then it's like, where's it go now? Yeah. Tentacle time bar is cool. There you go. It is interesting, yeah. Rumble is growing due to content creators who specialize in genres that YouTube doesn't like, so you'll find new people. Yeah, I got on there specifically because I was going to do the props and alcohol discussions, and I was going to do the finer things. I have the channels out there, and I've never done them because nobody Nobody was ever on it. Also, there was a stigma. People were like, "Oh, it's only for ultra right wing." Blah blah blah. No, it's for everybody who got booted off of YouTube. It's kind of stinky that way. Had to run and get some vodka. Life's better with a little vodka. Just like Homeland, the ending was horrible. Camera Sutra, what's up? How are you? Yeah, I had a fun little thing yesterday. Vahography started up his live streams again, and he had mentioned to me he wanted me to have me on, and I was like, oh, I want to catch his live, and he's like, come on. I'm like, okay. So it's me and Camera Sutra, and we just chatted and chatted and chatted. It was a lot of fun. Most of my friends do firearms content, and they've been going to Rumble. Yeah. Firearms, I think, just got a new injection in the arm on YouTube, and they're making it really difficult over there now. So are you going to make content on Rumble? I want to. There's definitely things I want to do on there that I can't do on YouTube. So possibly. Hey, Melina. How are you? Been forever since I saw you, but good to see you. I won't say anything more. Good, my friend. Good. Tomorrow, shooting high speed with Ember and filming 9mm target shooting. Loving the Ember. I need to rent that. That camera is just getting cooler and cooler. I need to rent that one from you. Don't you have a rental house now? What's the name of your rental company for renting that Ember? It was epic. It was fun. I'd love to do the Vahography if you want to get. It's something I've wanted to do on my channel, and maybe we can all figure out how to do it where we simulcast. I think that would be slick if somebody could come up with that. But like all walks of life, all walks of visual imagery, and like 5 or 6 of us all talking about subjects, and then it'd be a fun kind of creative talk situation. I think Mutiny Rentals, so you can rent now because Sutton and Mutiny have a vast plethora of cameras and lenses and medium format, Ember, and they also, they make high quality gear for it, accessories for it. So he has now the rental company, so that you can rent from that too. Love that idea. Let's figure it out, people. Let's do it. I know lots of people on here. I would love to just have 5 or 6 of us just sitting around a Friday evening or something, and we all have our adult beverages of some kind, and just have some fun. Only if we do not talk about gear. Ooh, interesting. Well, okay. So I'm game with that. Can you talk about techniques? Can you talk about industry? Can you talk about niche? Just as long as we don't talk about physical cameras, I'm game for that. There's a lot of people that definitely would be game for that. We just added some Canon EF active mount. We have PL, Sony E, EF passive, and now EF active. I'm sure you've covered the Komodo X audio improvements over OG, but my guys are wanting to drop the Sony FX9s and A7S III and go full red. The Sony is the lazy way to run smaller jobs that fit E&G. So the FX9 to me, Art, is easy. Dump it. My opinion. I think its value is not quite there anymore. I think the Komodo X just runs all over it. The A7S III, the FX3, that is a hard one. I think even 5 years from now, I'm going to be telling people the FX3, the A7S III is a solid solution because it does so much, so well and compact. And, don't snooze on the Z8. It does, if they just get some timecode in there, it'd be fantastic. But yeah, I like being all one brand sometimes, and I also like the variety that you get from other options. The FX9 I've never been a fan of. I know its purpose. I know why it exists. I know why everybody loves it. I just don't think its value is there. I think the FX6 is better than the FX9. I think, I think there's so much to it that we can get rid of that. I mean, the real problem is, Komodo X is $10,000. The Z8, not quite the same, doesn't have the audio. It's $3,500. The FX3, it's $3,500. That is a hard dollar number to swallow. So I would pat you on the back and say I wouldn't have a problem with you dumping FX9s to get something else. Get what best fits, but they all want to go all red. I think Komodo is not the fit. I think it's got to be minimum Komodo X or go V Raptor. Well, it needs to be V Raptor X really, because it's the bestest. But I mean, it's money, man. It's tough. I'm sure the FX9s have more than paid for themselves. It's tough. But I think in the end, it really comes down to what camera do you grab last? And whatever camera you grab last, that's the one you should replace with the camera you would grab first. Tyler Johnson, yes, got mutiny, woohoo! I think Amar's joking. I don't think so. I think he's now forced to not talk about gear. Can we get quality, easy audio? Yes. Yeah, the X has fantastic preamps. If you go back to my my audio tests on the Komodo X when it first came out, I did the preamp test and I tested it with like 5 different studio mics, and the noise floor is exceptionally low and really good. So yeah, the X is great, and the V Raptor X has the same preamps as the Komodo X. So that's a win-win. Rex, quit licking. Rex, quit licking. Well, I'm not licking. It's got to be, talk about gear as well. Any recommendation for a NAS, backup solutions, archival, anything new on the market in that front? Yeah, sure. Archival is tape. You've got to go LTO, period. That's the only archive solution. Everything else requires work. So that's your archival. Backup solution, what I use is Unraid. It is not fast, but it works like a champ, and it has several protections in there that if something dies, you don't lose everything. You lose parts, but you have single and double protection just like you would in a RAID, but it is absolutely not the same as RAID. It's completely different. But the best thing about Unraid is you just take your old computer, you slap in some good SATA cards in there, and then you can throw any hard drive you want in there. Any of your old hard drives, you're like, oh, I'm retiring the 10 terabytes out of my big NAS, and I'm going to put them in the garbage. Nope, throw them into Unraid. Unraid can use any size drive as long as the parity drive is larger. So what I've done on mine, I have two 16 terabyte drives that are my double protection parity. Everything else can be 16 terabytes or less. And so I've got 8s, I've got 12s, I've got 14s. I got all over the place in there. And you just slap in new drives whenever you need it. It's not fast. You're not going to edit off of it. You're going to get less than 100 megabytes a second. There are ways to get it a little bit faster, but not always. I can get about 250 megabytes per second up to 2 terabytes because I have SATA SSDs as a cache before Unraid. So it comes in on 2.5 gigabit, it hits those two SATA SSDs, and then it comes from there and it dumps slowly into there. But if you go over 2 terabytes, now you're at the mercy of the whole pipeline. And then for NAS, Synology makes some really good stuff, but you're going to need to be at least 8 drives. You need 8 drives of RAID 5 or RAID 6. If you're going RAID 6, keep in mind you're going to lose a little bit of speed. RAID 5 8 drives will get you full saturation read and write of 10 gigabit Ethernet if you are running a Synology. If you're running a QNAP, you're going to get full saturation on read, and you're going to get about 600 megabytes per second on write. There's a lot of, right now, NVMe little NASs that are coming out. Hold on those. The main reason is that there are not enough PCI Express channels to give them full bore access to the NVMEs that are in there, because the NVMEs that are in there are not SATA, they are PCI Express, which means they require lanes of PCI Express, and the processors only have X number of lanes. So if you put 8 in there, and each one of them needs at least 2 lanes to get the bandwidth in there, you would need 16 lanes, and your CPU may not even have 16 lanes. So 4 lanes is what you really need for NVMe for speed. Plus you need 4 lanes for your 10 gig. See, it all adds up. So QNAP, we'll see. Synology is really good if you get the ones that have 10 gig Ethernet in them, at least 8. Unraid, you can do TrueNAS if you want to build your own. TrueNAS is good. I also use Arika. My work from storage is an Arika RAID. It's an external Thunderbolt array that you can get them in 8 and 12. I would buy the 12, but it is a hardware RAID, and it's Thunderbolt 3. So you can get as much performance out of it as you can put drives in there, basically. And then I have that connected to a Mac Mini, which is 10 gig into my network, and that's my server. Hopefully that answers that question. Is there anything new? NVMe is new. It's soon going to be happening, but AMD basically is going to have to do it, and they're going to have to make a processor with a whole bunch of PCI lanes. We can talk about life and appreciate everything we have except gear. You posted birthday pics of you and Mama. Was one shot at Worst Fest? Yes, it was, Scotty. Every year for the last, 18, 19 years. Yeah, Scott, woohoo! There we go. There's the OLTP. I know you. Let's see. Camera Suture 24/7. Create your magic. We can combine the discussion. I'd love to hear your stories on film sets. Yeah. LOL. Personally, I'd like to see someone do a show for people considering trying short films. Ooh, what are short films? You just, look at short films, but use the gear they already have. For example, I'm one of those shunned Micro Four Thirds guys. It's not that you're shunned. It's just that you might outgrow it. You might not. If you're a photographer, you may not care as much. I tend to dabble on all sides. My main love is actually Super 35, which is APS-C sized. But I do enjoy some full frame stuff. It comes out for a lot of good things. Is it FX full frame? Yes. Short films, typo. Yeah, but short films would be fun. Just shoot about shirts. See, I would do a lot of gun stuff, and I would have to do that on Rumble. I've shot some stuff with the V-Raptor at it, and people are like, "Ooh, guns!" I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to America, Texas. Hello." It is what it is. Does anyone shoot the blues? I guess that's why they call it the blues. We have the Komodo and the Raptor and the FX9s are on the shelf. Question answered. You answered yourself. Michael J. Foster, woo! I don't know why everybody's giving me arms up. Create your magic. Great ZF review. I keep adding the Create Your Magic. That's your name in there. That's funny. It's like, why do you keep referencing Create Your Magic? Is this like... Let's see. What did someone say? Tape? Man, I thought we were doing full cloud. Oh, you will not find my stuff in the cloud. Oh, no. Because that is what they call stickiness. They get you in there, and then they make it hell to get it out. Just like Google's done, Dropbox is done, Amazon's done. You know, the cloud. They all did it, and they all do it on purpose. They want you in there, and then they won't let you out. And I'm not doing it. Everything is here. And I do private cloud, so I come back to myself. Nikon got lucky with the ZF. Love that camera. Photography. Okay, wait a minute. I know it's not dark in Texas yet. It's dark out your window. Is that a set behind you? Yes. Yes, it is. It is a set. It's not just a set. It is a movable set on rails. Right over here is a kitchen set that I can roll over this way. This wall, well, you can kind of see it, but if I do that, this brick wall is the kitchen set. There's a kitchen set right there. So, you know, it's nice having a studio. Bill's like, yes, this is a set. How many bugs does RAID 6 kill? RAID! Good joke, good joke. The sad news is not enough. Debating C400 versus Komodo X. What's pulling you each way? They're both really good cameras. They're both really competent. What do you need? What do you want? What is the most important thing to you on a camera? Ask that first. Anyone who has seen the greatest use of Raspberry 400, let me know. I was really excited about the, there was it wasn't a Raspberry Pi, but it was an ARM processor, and it was a mini NAS that you could put 4 NVMEs on there. And I was super excited about it. But once again, it's the number of lanes that hold you back. I'm in New Braunfels. There's only one S in New Braunfels. It happens at the end. Maybe have a beer next fest. Indeed. Indeed we shall. FX30 is Super 30. It is. It is Super 35. So is Komodo. So is Komodo X. So is V-Raptor Super 35 with the name in it. The R7 is Super 35-ish. Yep. Let's see. Everyone here shoots only red, not blues. That's not true. I shoot Arri. I shoot Sony. I shoot Blackmagic. I shoot Panasonic. I shoot Red. I shoot Canon. I shoot them all. I shoot Nikon. I shoot the moon. Take that, Scott. 2-0. What did I say? What are we comparing against? Did I say FX30 is full frame? I thought I said FX3. I know the difference there. Oh, that's amazing. Do you think C400 will grab some FX6 users? It will grab 6 users and 9 users for sure. It will grab 300 users. It will grab 500 users. It will grab some Blackmagic users. It might grab a few Red users. Is it going to dominate? No. Is it serious? Yes. Is it viable? Yes. Is there going to be a bunch of them? Yeah. And they're going to do well. Now we're talking about gear, just drywall. That's not drywall. No gear. Love you, bro. Need to walk the dogs. Appreciate you. My dog just sits here because he's a good boy. Right, Rex? That's why he has his own camera. Oof. Yes, sir. And then you said, well, I know the first one. With L2. Yep. Winning. I just don't understand. I have to look at that one. And that's weird. I got those two confused. Winning. I shoot every brand, including Glock. Yeah, but do you have one of these? I was going to do a full review on this. I spent my money on it. It is a full-on camera. It literally works. I was afraid if I do a review, then people will leave the channel. But it's a full-on camera. Cost me $12. It cost me this twice, actually, because the first one, and this is a 1080p camera. This is not to be taken lightly. It's got paw prints on it and everything. The first one broke in 3 minutes. Okay. Ramesh says, which camera's color science do you find the easiest to grade, and which one do you find the most difficult? I find Blackmagic's to be pretty difficult. I would say they're all probably difficult until you use them enough. I find Red to be actually fairly easy. Sony's used to be difficult, but I did it enough. Now I find it very easy. Alexa's pretty easy. Panasonic, it's fairly easy. I still don't like the blue-green skies. But, yeah. Looks like the Raptor to X upgrade is up to 12.5. Ooh, isn't that what it was? I thought that's what it was. I think that's right. Oh, man. That's worth every penny in my book. Are you going to side grade to Dragon X or doing Raptor X? I don't have a Dragon X anymore. I sold that. I have Raptor X is in the future. I have Komodo X and Komodo. Man, just went down a rabbit hole. I recently used the DJI wireless video system to pull focus, and that was at 70 milliseconds. The new Holiday Inn Pyro is 50 milliseconds at 1,300 feet for only $700. Might pick up that one. What did you think of the DJI? Because that's basically 2 frames. Blackmagic cameras are great as long as you don't use them outdoors. Yeah, I was able, when I had the Ursa Force 6, the Ursa Mini Force 6, I was able to pull the skies like I like. It had, I think they had 15 stops of dynamic range on that one, and it was good. I just felt it was redundant to my Reds. It seems like the red rave is cooling. I hate that. I don't shoot red, but I love the image. I think people are getting nervous. People are absolutely getting nervous. The red rave / wave is cooling only because nothing new has come out. And unfortunately, until something does come out, nobody really knows for sure the direction. Nobody feels confident about anything. And so we have probably a 15-month window that it's going to continue to cool unless they just start leaking some stuff and say, hey, look at what we're looking at. Look at what we're doing here. They start doing that. I'm not sure how they can do that legally. Maybe they can. But they need to get to the public, and they need to get to the public soon. I would say by the end of the year, they need to be talking to the public publicly about what they're going to be doing. And then the red wave will ride again. DJI was fine, was able to do some action shots and pulled it off, but for $2,500 doesn't make sense for that latency. They're all going to be that way if they're 4K. What do you think of the vintage lens trend, like Batman using Helios 440? I mean, I have a Helios 442. I like those. I don't mind vintage lenses at all. I think right tool for the job, and there's always something special about a vintage lens in certain situations. It was one of the things that I liked about, you remember the show Documentary Now? That was Alex Bono was doing that. on IFC, I think it was, but it was a faux documentary show. But every episode, they were doing different genres and different time periods and such. And so they were always recreating stuff using vintage lenses and all that. I loved that. It was also great. Red aftermarket is doing very well. Tons of used cameras circulating. Yes. I mean, right now, if you look at the used camera market, it's scary. There's a lot of used cameras out there, and you can tell if you look at prices, like you can see how some people are suffering and some people are like, if it sells, it sells. But there's a lot out there. And I know some people who've got some incredible deals on some cameras that are like, wow. Jared alone with some hang in there, peeps. It's coming. Silence means move on sometimes. Unfortunate. It does. I wish I had more information that I could share. That I wish I had something. I've extended the olive branch, and they have been responsive. But I do think it's important that they have enough time to figure it out as well, because they got to figure out what the heck to do with that place. What's our focus? What are we doing here? And I think it's got to give them some time. But by the end of the year, if they're not doing anything, I think it's going to be a bad omen. Documentary Now was hilarious. It was. I loved it. Loved Alex Bono. I had a thought. Rare, I know. But maybe focus pulling monitors shouldn't be 4K. I agree. I don't think you're truly pulling better focus with 4K over 2K. There's a lot of detail in 2K, and if you can't see the detail of the eyes, it's time for glasses. Definitely. All right, who's got some last-minute questions? Or, really, Rex, you're just not going to... Last-minute questions or anything? Comments? Anything? Isaiah says, have you tried the new Red EVF yet? I haven't seen any review online. The new Red EVF is the old Red EVF with some new improvements. I have not tried it. I've used the old one, but I haven't used it on the new camera. So the answer is no. I haven't, and I have not seen any reviews of it, and I don't know what yeah, I don't know what the holdup is. I also would love to know if we're ever going to get that smaller monitor or not. Don't know. I would say 2K focus pulling is easier. Yeah. I don't need 4K, but most of the new ones are 4K, and even new 1080 seem to be around. Well, it's because the analog chipset is locked up in the, was it Teradici, I think is the chipset that they use, and Teradek has the patent on it. So no one really can use it except for Vaxis, who says, hey, we're just going to do what we want to do. So the analog is kind of tough. Everybody has to use compressed video to get around it, including Teradek, because there's no bandwidth above that. So, I don't know. I find it funny. Most focus pullers that I know use 13-inch monitors. And I could not fathom 4K on a 13-inch monitor. I don't care if you're 6 inches from it. I couldn't fathom 4K on a 13-inch monitor, because they're walking around with their little cart and they're pushing their little monitor everywhere they're going. Or they're using a little tiny one right in front of them on the more actiony stuff. I don't see 4K on that. I don't see any value there. So yeah, I'd be using my ND7. Doesn't even have 4K as an option. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So who's got last minute thoughts anything, anything, and I will call this one quits because I need to go celebrate my wife's birthday by cooking her a delicious filet mignon, because that's how I roll. Plus, I want a filet mignon because that's how I roll. How's your year looking forward? Doesn't look good. I don't have hardly anything. Kind of sucks. Yeah, should be OLED or plasma screens for focus pulling. OLED would be good. Thanks for your time. Well, thank you, Donna, for hanging out. And thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Yeah, I wish my year was looking better. But my year is about to get complicated, so it's going to be fun. Well, all right. Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. We did a 2.5 hour one today. We can maybe stretch that one next week. Yeah. Appreciate you all for just hanging out and just, chit-chatting and enduring my whims in every direction because, I don't want to stay focused. I like to be me. And thanks for being a channel member there, Dirk. I like the idea of a multi-host live. That would be a fun one to put together. It would be. But consider becoming a channel member. It's fun. All the cool kids are doing it. And you want to be like the cool kids. They have this new camera, too, the cool kids camera. It's blue. Just like you said, nobody shoots blue. I shoot blue. Yep. If you're considering purchasing anything at all, and B&H or Amazon sells it, please consider just clicking on any of the links down below. It doesn't have to be the item you're looking for. Just click on any of them. It'll take you there, and you can shop away, and you're giving a little bit back to the channel, and it's really, really appreciated. Ooh, burn. Hello, Mike. Yep. So, yeah. Everyone go eat something nice. Have some time with the family. Enjoy your weekend. And as I always like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Bye, everyone.